everybody. You're welcome to the Renee Q Show. My name is Renee Q Boating, and today we are going to be talking about what is this? What is this? Cash. We're going to be talking about managing multiple businesses. And I have here with me a beautiful, amazing woman, one I admire so much, Dedo Koฟี่. You're very welcome to the show. Let me tell them who you are. 1 minute. Let me tell them who you are. Now, I will call Dedo a business mogul. I know you will say in the making, but you are. I mean, with everything that you're doing so well. I mean, she's created so many different businesses that she's managing. She has a full service advertising firm, Adeko Minds. So she has a luxury brand and mini department store, Niche Expressions. I mean, the pieces in there, oh my goodness, I don't like to come in there. She's recently launched and she runs the franchise for Luxuria Lifestyle Magazine. It's been judged the best lifestyle digital magazine for 2020. Wow. So you're managing that in Ghana to provide high-end and luxury brands a unique opportunity to showcase their offerings to targeted consumers in the country and the rest of the world. I mean, these are so many different businesses. And my question is, how are you able to manage them? Each and every one. The point here and what we want to talk about today is how you're able to manage different businesses at the same time. Congratulations. Let me just say congratulations.
Thank you.
Let me just say congratulations. And so please tell us a bit about your story, how you even got into entrepreneurship, because this is what it is really.
Okay. Where do I start from? I think I never worked mainstream after university. So I started off as an entrepreneur. Sometimes I think that maybe I should have got some experience in the corporate world before launching out and starting my own business, because, over there are structures, ways of doing things. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes when I'm frustrated, that's when I start thinking that way. But I guess it's also a blessing. It allows me to do things my own way and let it work for me. Mm. But when I finished university, I was in the UK for a brief moment, and then I decided to come back. Whilst I was in school, I've always been the person who likes being part of activities. If there's something going on here, I'm always there to help. And Walter Ho, I was the vice president of the JCR.
Oh, wow.
So I was excited. I think I was more excited doing the work for the JCR than learning. So doing events, getting sponsorships and things like that. So when I decided to come back to Ghana, I just knew I was going to run my own business. So I thought so many different things, maybe events planning, because I was good at putting things together like that. And I'm naturally creative. So the whole design, when I was in school, I used to do business cards for students and lecturers. I would design it for them and get someone to print it and charge them. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll do that. Or I was even thinking of doing my own brand of shoes and bags.
Don't laugh, we need them.
So I thought about all these things that I wanted to do. But I mean, when I arrived in Ghana and I told my mom that I wanted to start my own business, obviously she was like, really, you need to work with a company so you can learn. And I said, okay. So for my mom's sake, I applied to a bank because my friend was there and she said she would try and push for me. So I did the application. But long story short, before the application could go through, I got my first business to do an event for the South African High Commission.
Wow.
And at that point, I hadn't even registered my business. But I remember arriving in Ghana end of May, and the next week I was ready. I was telling everybody, I'm doing my own business. I'm an event planner. I can do designs for you. So then I told my godfather, he said, okay, let me speak to the South African High Commission. And then it worked. So I hadn't even registered my business. So since then, I haven't stopped.
Wow. Wow. So it's just the push.
Yeah.
Just the push.
Then I haven't stopped. Yeah.
Wow. So tell us about the different businesses that you have. Let's talk a little bit about each one of them. And then,
the first business that I registered was Adeko, Adeko Minds. And I mean, I was always talking business. Even now, people accuse me of always talking business. But so at every opportunity, because I was trying to do things by myself, I would read a lot on the internet about setting up my business, doing this and doing that. And then I'll ask people questions. So I remember asking this gentleman, Titi Osinote, about I'm trying to come up with a name for my business. And he told me how he came up with his name. And so I was like, okay, I could do something like that. So I pieced my name together, Angela, which I don't use often, and Dedo. And I thought, okay, it didn't sound bad, Adeko. And so that's how
what the Adeko is.
Yes, that's how I came up with the name for that business. So that's what I started with, doing events management, advertising, and corporate support services. So we do corporate branding and things like that. So I literally went out to every bank.
So did you go out yourself? That's the question. How did you get the jobs?
You just have to push. And that's what I tell people who young people who speak to me. Sometimes we assume that before you can get a job, you need connections. Connections are great. And I won't downplay that. But it doesn't mean that if you don't have connections, you can't get the job. You can. And I know that from my own experience, because I went cold knocking at doors. I didn't know people everywhere, but I was knocking. I remember at ADB, I went into the banking hall and collected all the flyers that they had there. They had about, I think, 10 or 11 different products. I took it to my office and I asked them that these things are not nice. Let's redesign them. So we redesigned all of them. And then I took it to them to say that this is what I could do for their brand. It wasn't instant, because obviously in their organization, like a big bank like that, there would be different people who are working on. But after a while, because of the work that I showed them, they ended up doing it. And you can imagine, we designed all their different products, and then we printed them, and those were large quantities. You don't need to, I mean, when you knock on 10 doors and they say no, then you give up. No, you have to keep going and keep going.
Wow.
I actually remember doing a tender, because I would open the newspapers, and when I see tenders, I would tender for them for the Forestry Commission. I actually did it thinking it's a practice, because this one, maybe they already know who they'll give the job to. Guess what? We got the job.
Wow.
And we did it. So you have to just keep going. And then leverage on your network connection and all of that. But you have to keep knocking.
So that's Adeko, and that's what you do for Adeko.
Yes.
Now, niche, and when I say I don't like going there, I go there. Listen to me. What I mean is, you go in there for one thing, you end up picking like 10 items. Because the item, do you pick them yourself? I've always wondered.
I do.
I've always wondered who picks these items. Because the items in there, so tell us about niche. Tell us about niche.
So niche, actually, it came out of my own. I love home things. And it was really in trying to find gifts in Ghana. I found out that it was different when you went to a gift shop, apart from cards and the kind
balloons,
of gifts that were there. Really, and sometimes you want to give a friend a gift, or you want to give somebody you look up to a gift, and it's difficult to find something. So I thought, okay, let me start something in that area, and that's when I thought of niche. And then I would add, because I like home things and all of that, I would add it to that. So that's how niche started. So I started handpicking, and I remember when my first stock, I went to the UK, I actually put vases in my suitcase. Can you imagine?
Oh, don't tell me they got broken.
Some of them were broken. But it was the excitement, and I want to do it. And I didn't even know about shipping. I didn't know any of those things. But I was willing to do it, and I wanted to start. I had a deadline. So I brought some of the things from the UK and put them in my suitcase, arrived. Some of them were broken. But some of them, I mean, a lot of them were in good condition as well.
So then what led you to Luxuria?
So Luxuria, I attended a conference in South Africa, Women CEO Project. It's by my coach, one of my coaches. She's in the US, and she was doing this retreat in South Africa. I said, oh, I'll come along. So at the conference, there was this lady who had invited us to an event. They said it was an exclusive event. And so, and then when she was saying that, and they were looking for representatives in Africa,
Right.
in different countries. And then my coach was like, oh, then you should be talking to Dedo. So we spoke, and then they gave me the contact of the owner of the franchise. And so he contacted me, we started talking. I had an understanding of the business, and I was like, okay, this is, I mean, I do events, I'm already in that kind of industry. So it would be a good add-on. It won't be a
Something
deviation that
right,
is too off
right.
here. So I thought, okay, it's something that I would
But what
embrace.
is that business?
So Luxuria Lifestyle is really a digital magazine. So it's one platform where you can find all luxury brands in Ghana. So we are putting all luxury brands together on that platform, and it's an advertising platform. So you obviously pay to be on there. And then we do luxury events as well.
What is it like for you managing businesses here in Ghana?
It's hard. I mean, and it's not easy anywhere, I guess. But how I've done it is I started with Adeko, obviously. I didn't start with multiple businesses, even though Adeko does multiple things. And after growing it and then starting niche, I think one of the things that I realized is if you're able to sell your vision with your team members and ask for help, let them see that you need the help to be able to achieve the vision that that you have shared, and they see into it, you can pull them along and they would help you. It's not easy getting the right stuff, and you have to just keep changing. Niche is opening in Laboni today.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
And it's more, we're adding furniture pieces into the things that we do. I'm not there today. Normally the old Dedo I would be agitated. I have to be there. I have to make sure they set up right and everything. But I had to also tell myself that allow people to do things, because you can't be everywhere, because
micromanaging.
You can't micromanage. So allow people to do it. Let them make their mistakes. You teach them. Once it's not like a major thing. So bit by bit, and then you see that you find people. I think we should
take a break, run there and come back. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Renee Q Show. I'm here with Dedo Kofi, and we are talking about managing multiple businesses. Dedo, have you ever thought of quitting?
I don't think I can.
Sometimes, like, you're doing something, like sort of giving up, basically. Have you ever thought of giving up?
Too many times.
Really? And what happens? How do you get over that?
Too many times. And I think it's not really what I want to do anyway. But you feel that way because maybe things are not going the way you expected. I think that every confidence, like you talk, my confidence comes from my belief in God, because I believe He's empowered me with everything that I need to do. I say to people, if I was stripped of everything I have in business today, once I have my brains, once I can move, I can rebuild again. And so it's really not about those things that you build. So that's how much I believe in what how God made me. And I go with my guts, a lot of things. And if you're a business owner, even as a normal human being, a gut feeling tells us a lot. You can refer to it in different ways. It's the Holy Spirit speaking to you. But a lot of things, there may be something you don't normally do, but at a certain point, you probably allow it because your gut feeling tells you to go that way. And then my goals, and these goals were given to me. I mean, I didn't create myself. These goals come to you. And so when God has given you a dream, He's giving you something, and He's giving you a plan, and these thoughts keep coming to you, it means you can do it. So He's given it to you to do it. So when it comes to quitting, it's a thought that will come. You just don't entertain it, because you know that it came because maybe you are tired with workers, they're worrying you. Look for the second one. And it's because maybe you are still keeping the old one who is not doing what you want them. Just have the courage to let them go in a nice way. Letting people go, you have to do it right in a nice way, and then get the new people who would bring back your confidence. And right now, I mean, there's so many ways that you can build your confidence. Being in the right network, what you consume on social media, which is so important. I tell a lot of young people, what are you looking at on social media? Look for the right.
Who are you following?
Who are you following? Yes.
Who are you following?
What are you learning from them? Do you understand? So all those things. If you're following somebody, you would hear their stories. And there's so many stories. We know all these people who have made it. We know how much they wanted to also give up, but they didn't give up. And so knowing that, it serves as a reminder for you to say, okay, even this person who was at this point, you read about Elon Musk, you read about different people, and you're thinking, okay, if even them who are just like so millionaires, billionaires, they get to feel this way, then it's okay for me to feel that way. It's just not okay for me to remain there. And I mean, fear makes us, some people haven't started their businesses, but they are already afraid. And fear is false evidence appearing real. I mean, you haven't seen the thing, but you're already afraid of it. So it's not real.
The opposite of faith.
Yeah.
Totally. Because
so
the faith
change it.
You haven't seen it, but you believe it.
You believe in
fear,
it.
You haven't seen it, but you're afraid. So which one are you choosing?
Yeah, choose the positive, you know, negative, but choose the positive.
I love that.
And I think that's what I do. Rather than choosing the negative side or the worst side, I always look at the brighter side, you know, like the glass half full or half empty.
Yes. Positivity.
Yeah.
I love that. Do you have people sometimes trying to say no, Dedo? No, be careful. You might lose your money. Because, you know, sometimes, you know, you have a business that's doing well, maybe one, maybe two. You see another venture, and then people, not out of wanting to destroy you or anything like that, but just wanting to, maybe they see you as excited. They see you as you're so excited, you're not seeing it in real. So, you know, they're trying to save you your money. You know, what if you put all that money in and it fails? You know, what do you do with such people? I mean, if you do have people like that around you.
Oh, yes, I do. And sometimes it could be people that are close to you or people that are total strangers. Like people can tell me maybe about being in one airport square, the rent. Do you think? So I just take it that people are coming from a point of genuine concern.
Right.
I just assume whether they are not or they are, but I just assume that people are coming from a point of genuine concern. And so you listen to all of that. It's not an argument or anything. And you sit on the table and decide, you know your numbers, you know what you are doing, and decide whether it's true or not. So people will say things to you and maybe don't chastise them for doing that because they're genuinely concerned. But go to the table, look at your numbers, look at your books, and especially if it's something you're now going to venture into and people are trying to tell you don't do it. No, don't listen to people. Listen to you, listen to your gut feeling, listen to how you had all these ideas. And the truth is, in business, you would lose money. So you should also be willing to lose. But you would make money. When the money comes, you will enjoy it.
At the beginning, I was like, hey, look at
I know. You know, sometimes when I'm there and I'm a bit quiet, I'm like, what's wrong with me? Am I feeling sick? I'm like, no, I don't have money. And when you have money, like
you're
everything,
excited.
when the
you're like, the cash is moving.
So sometimes I would remember the feeling of having when that big check came, you know, and then just go through the next 2-3 days.
I know thousands of people watching right now. They're like, ask her. But how do you raise the capital for the business? Because, you know, a lot of people have the ideas. But they're like, I don't have it. And when you talk to a lot of people, that's what they will tell you. I don't have the capital. That's what a lot of people will tell you. So how do you raise please talk to them out there. Encourage somebody out there. I want you to encourage somebody out there who really has a business idea, you know, but number one, they're asking themselves, how do I raise the capital? And then somebody out there as well who has a very good business, but also has an idea for another business. But they're like, oh, let me just stay where I am. You know what I mean?
Okay, so what I'll say to that is, because I didn't start with capital. I didn't start my business with any saved up money. I didn't start my business with family rich money. Nothing like that. I just started with what I had. So in terms of starting, what I'll say is start with what you have. And what do you have? If you have a skill that you can use to raise money, use that. Because sometimes we just sit on the fence. I could do with some more money to do some other ideas that I have. But if I don't have that money now, I will just build it up. I've always wanted to go into furniture and things like that, but I wasn't ready. Now I'm ready. I've started, and I've not started in the way that I want to, but I've started with a few pieces. So that's how you do it. And start with what you have. And sometimes you're just looking at the fact that you need 100,000 CDs or you need 10,000 CDs before you can start. But you forget that you have that one skill that you can offer to somebody and generate something and save and generate something and save.
Somebody's asking, what skill? Please bring it down. Layman's term. I just came out of university and I'm sitting at home. I've applied for so many jobs. I haven't gotten any responses yet. I need money. I want to start a business. I don't have money. What should I do?
So let me answer it. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with someone who said they were giving me a marketing person. And I was like, they have to prove to me, because marketing people are one of the most difficult people I've had to employ, because I think a lot of them don't understand what they're supposed to do as marketers. You're supposed to deliver. And so if the person can prove to me that they are worth what they say, I'm happy to engage them. If you've been applying to jobs and you're not getting, which companies are your dream, the places you want to work with? Write to 10 of them and offer your services. Before I went to university, I went to Millicom Ghana then. I was just home after secondary school, and I said I wanted to work. I put an application and they said there was no job. And I went back, I told the manager, I'll just come and make tea for you.
Wow.
I remember that so well.
You did that?
The following day, they called me and said I should come in. And I wasn't making tea for her, I was working.
Yeah.
So you see, sometimes you have to push and prove yourself.
Your mindset.
You understand what I mean? When I came to Ghana and I started, I wanted to do so many things, but I had to look at where, because I don't have money, I had to look at what I can start now without money. When I just started, I came mid of the year, so it was coming up to December, and I said, okay, I can cash into doing hampers. I'm going to bring my own twist to doing it. So all it takes is coming up with the different concepts that I can do and then share it with different businesses. I didn't need capital to start that. And then I got some good business in December to do a couple of hampers. As I was doing it, people were excited and I was getting calls to redo more. Sometimes you would need, and that's when you are in action. I remember when I needed money, I can ask my mom to borrow me some money. And when you borrow money, please pay back. Like from friends, from whoever, just make sure that you pay back.
So important.
Because if you do that, you just bend those bridges and you can never go there again.
Right.
Don't take people for granted when they loan you money.
Right.
Even if it's 100 CDs, 1,000 CDs.
Right.
Just make sure that you pay them back. So we can always start from where we are. And maybe you are a photographer, you are looking at getting this camera that's $10,000. There are cameras that are cheaper than that.
Right.
Start with those ones. You see what I mean? So we can always start and work our way up. The bigger picture is great, but then start with what you have in your hands. If you don't have any money at all, then work somewhere and go and offer your services for free, because anyway, you've been sitting at home for 6 months. So go and then prove that you can do something so that they would.
It's getting yourself in. I love that. I really, really like that idea. You go somewhere and they're like, we don't have any space. We don't have any vacancies. And then you say to them, well, I'll just come and just work around.
You go there and make a difference.
Yes. And you come, the thing is getting yourself in. So once you get, I think that's a great mindset to have. That's a great mindset to have.
There's no employer who will turn away somebody who brings real difference or contribution. They would find a way to keep you in. If you go in and you're showing, they're like, wow, we have to keep this person as a keeper. Right. So make yourself a keeper. Make yourself somebody that no organization would like to let go of, because you are knowledgeable, because you do what you have to do. You are not involved in petty talks. You're always doing what you have to do, and you always make sure that you get results. Once you're like that, nobody's going to want to let you go.
Right, that's fantastic. Dedo, please speak to somebody out there who has their one business that is doing well. They have a business, is doing well. Maybe it's not even doing well, but they have a business. And they probably should do something else, but they're just holding on to the one that they have. Sometimes you speak to somebody out there, they'll say, oh, everybody knows I'm a caterer. how can I now do hairdressing? But they are very good at hair. They'll do their hair, they'll do their daughter's hair, somebody's hair, and you're like, who did it? But the catering business is not working. Maybe the catering business is working very well, but once they finish cooking in the morning, they are done. The rest of the day, they are free. And they can start another business, but they are thinking, I'm saying this because look at when the COVID hit. Oh my goodness, that was terrible. That was terrible. He came with a bang, unexpected, no announcement, so rude. I think COVID is so rude, so rude. Just came just like that, And a lot of people, their businesses suffered. Some people were a bit blessed because they had more than one business. So even though 1 and 2 suffered a bit, the third one held them up. Do you see what I mean?
I understand.
Please speak to somebody out there. Speak to a sister watching you, a brother watching you, who really hasn't ventured into something else.
So what I would say with that is it's a good thing if you have multiple businesses, because there will be a point, like you said, that one, the main business you have is not doing well. And for me, there was a point that Adeko wasn't doing well. With social media and all of that, things are changing, still changing. And so the mainstream media, people are not doing newspaper ads, people are not doing all those things. So it's a shift into social media. And a lot of things happened in the banking industry. So my advertising business really went quiet at a point. And so what helped was because I had niche. And so that gave me some excitement to wake up and do work and all of that. So having multiple businesses helps. And so long as you have the skill and the passion to do it, do it. There's nothing you've got to lose. And you never know, maybe that is where you're going to even make more money from. So just venture into it and give it your very all, because that's what I did. And niche was a blessing at the time that Adeko was not working at all. Now Adeko has picked up as well. So you sort of need that, because if I didn't have anything, then I would just think of giving up completely, which I won't.
You heard her. She said, just do it, and we are not giving up.
Yes,
let's take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Renee Q Show. I'm here with Dedo Kofi, and we are talking about managing multiple businesses. Dedo, after this conversation, if you know the things I'm going to do, it's just been an awesome one. Thank you so much. It's been a great, great one. And I have a little gift for you.
Yay.
Okay.
I don't get gifts a lot. Can I open it?
Please, let it out. Show everybody. Okay. So this is what it is. It's the Renee Q Love Pillow. And I give this to each and every one of my guests. I love it when you said that you should believe in yourself. You should love yourself. Like I am Madam, self-ambassador for self-love. Like I just love it when women love and appreciate themselves and tell themselves, go, I can do it. Have confidence in themselves, have belief in themselves. So I did this a couple of years ago, and I always encourage women, come and get your love pillow and just encourage yourself all the time. Tell yourself things you love about yourself. So Dedo, I want you to tell us one thing you love about you.
I'm not afraid to fail.
Wow. You're not afraid to fail. Yeah, you just pick yourself back up. Dedo, can you come next week so we talk about that? No. We need to talk about this. No, yes, not being afraid to fail. We're going to talk about it coming soon. We definitely will talk about it. I love it so much because a lot of us, we weren't brought up to accept failure. So it's such a difficult thing. But when you are not afraid to fail, you can just press on.
Yeah.
That is deep. You have just ministered to me, and I'm sure to everybody else. Wow, I have to say a big thank you.
I really love this.
Thank you so much for your time. It's been a great one. You've been a blessing to me, and I'm sure everybody watching. And I have to say a huge thank you as well to the Apricot Lifestyle Concept Store for allowing us to use their beautiful store here in East Legon for the set of the Rene Q show. Ladies, you need to rush in. You need to come in. Beautiful clothing, beautiful accessories, beautiful pieces you can take home. And you know how ladies, we like everybody looking at us.
Yeah.
Trust me, when you wear something from here, you get a double turn. You get a double look. I also have another sponsor who wants to remain anonymous, but I want to say a big thank you to them and a God bless you. And God bless you to you as well for watching. It's been an awesome week and I hope to see you next week. Stay safe and stay blessed.